Okay. So I'm Ann Donica Sullivan, and I actually work here at Concordia. I'm the lead placement coordinator, so I place all people who are student teachers, or any of you in the College of Ed? So none of you? Okay. So all of the student teachers that are learning to be teachers go out and into the field, so I place them, and then I also teach here. And Joel asked me to come here because part of what I also do here is Bike First. Have you guys seen Bike First before? We're going to be here June 23rd through the 27th, and it's held on campus. And so if you're taking courses, you'll see the kids out riding their bikes out into in the gym area and then outside. Hi there. So tell me what you guys have learned about people with special needs. You haven't learned anything? Not a lot? So this is an adapted, what is this course?
Special population.
Special populations?
Physical education and special populations.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just started?
Yeah, we've been learning a lot about like the laws and stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's what we've been focusing on.
Okay, all right. How many of you have a person with a disability in your life? Okay. How many of you, when you were growing up, had a friend that had a disability? So raise your hand high. Okay. My son, Cody, has Down syndrome, and he is a senior at Grant High School, and he's fully included in general education. So there are different tracks, and so there's the general education, and then there's special education. So special education life skills, any of you remember a life skills class when you were in high school? Kids are kind of locked away in it. All kids with disabilities, lifelong or autism, Down syndrome, whatever it is, they're in there. For my husband and I, when Cody was born, our vision was when he's in high school, we want him to have lots of friends. We want him to be included in society. We want him to live a full, robust life. And right now, he's exactly where we wanted him to be. So for math and reading, he goes to the Learning Center. But then other than that, he's taking hip-hop, and he's taking weight training, and he's taking, band and science and all of those kind of things with typical peers. He had his 18th birthday party. His birthday is Christmas Eve. He had his 18th birthday party at the Hollywood Bowling Alley. Any of you bowlers? No one, all right. And he had probably about 60 kids at it, all different cliques that were there, but they were all there because they adore Cody. Any of you U of O fans? Okay. Cody had 4 U of O cheerleaders come to his party that I hired. And it was just this really great event. And every year, he has a birthday party that is fully inclusive. So I run his Facebook. I run his Instagram with his sister. All of these different social media things so that he's out there, he's being seen. His friends have my cell number. I'll get a phone call. I'll get a text. I got one probably about a month ago from his best friend, Owen. And Owen said, Ann, I just was having a conversation with Cody in the hall. And after we got done talking, he turned around, and then he turned back, and he said, hey, Owen. And he goes, oh, and then did the F-bomb. Drew it out, all right? So I'm like, great. And so I text Owen back, and I said, so how did you respond to that? And he goes, I told him it wasn't cool, and he needed to knock it off and watch his mouth. And I was like, okay, this is inclusion. Cody, in life skills classes, they teach you how to tie your shoes. Middle school, they go out and they pick up litter in the parks. They wipe down the tables in the cafeteria. A lot of these kids end up where they are on an assembly line doing brainless jobs, all right? Cody will be able to work at the Humane Society. He has interests in, obviously, bowling. He loves movies. He rides his bike everywhere. I mean, he has all of these things that he does. He watches other people that are typical peers, and he learns from them. So, for instance, he kept on riding his bike to school. This was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And I pre-taught him the route. You know, we practiced it, and then we came back home, back and forth. So my husband one day drove by a TriMet bus, and Cody was putting his bike on the front of the TriMet bus so that he wouldn't have to ride his bike up 42nd Street. We had no idea he knew how to ride the bus. We had no idea that he had been riding the bus, and he had been riding the TriMet bus for 2 months. He watched his peers. He figured out that there was a stamp at school that he needed, a little sticker at school he needed on his ID card so that he can learn how to do that. Okay? So part of Down syndrome, does anyone know about Down syndrome? What is Down syndrome?
Extra chromosome.
Yeah, an extra chromosome. So all of us in the room have a certain amount. He has one extra. So that one extra is why people with Down syndrome kind of can look alike. You know, you kind of pick them out. He has, as all people with Down syndrome, less metabolism. So he will eat as much, exercise as much as someone that's his same age. He will gain weight, they will not gain weight. Okay? So he has to move a lot more in order to keep his weight down. And he's absolutely my favorite person in the world to be with. He's funny, he is bright, he problem solves. So he, for instance, like I said, he has weight training and he has hip hop at school. Well, so he has to change his clothes for that, right? So he figured out on his own that he needs to wear his shorts underneath his pants. So he just takes them off quickly and goes to his PE and then just puts them back on. Okay, so thinking through things. So what are you guys planning to do after you graduate from Concordia? What is your dream job? What would you want to do? Athletic training, like at a health club?
I'm not sure right now, but hopefully like at a university.
At a university?
Take this one, yeah.
Okay, what else?
PT,
Physical therapist? Okay. And is there only one school in Oregon?
George Foster, they started a program, but it's just two technically.
Okay, and to be a PT, you now have to get a doctorate, right? I think you have to get a doctorate.
It's like a PT.
Uh-huh. Okay, cool. What else? What are you guys planning to do with your degrees? Really not sure?
I'm doing physical therapy also.
Okay. Do you want to be a professional athlete? What is your major? What are you guys majoring? Exercise and science? Okay. No other thoughts of what you're going to do?
I've thought about OT.
Mm-hmm. So are you guys all undergrads?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's really important for people with disabilities to have an outlet for exercise. It's really easy for Cody to sit down in front of the TV and stay there for 4 hours, all right? So movement and being aware of health and nutrition is really important. I've often thought that it would be really cool if you guys, some of you, were to look at getting into the business of what if I were to work with people with special needs on exercise and their nutrition. Getting them to move, getting them to eat well, being healthy, having a robust life. And then incorporating, other typical developing peers into that. Thoughts on that? Are you guys usually this talkative? So Bike First is one avenue for people with disabilities to be able to get out there and be included in society. So this is what happens if people aren't included. Okay, I'll drop it there. One pen. Okay, so there are circles.